Well, far out, everybody. Far out, man. How you doing, everybody? It's Matthew Street. Welcome to my channel. So happy you're here. And folks, I am going to be showcasing and reviewing a brand new release, one I've been waiting for a long, long time, folks. Folks, you know it already if you've seen the title. It is the brand new John Denver RCA Albums Collection box set. Hope you can see that okay. I want to get in a good position for you. Just re-released on May 24th of this year. Folks, let me start by saying this. I am a lifelong fan of John Denver. It goes way back, early 70s or so. I started to become a fan. It was due to the Rocky Mountain High album, which came out in 1972, I want to say. And at that time, I was turning 11. I was just coming into middle school, 5th grade or so, I believe. 5th grade going into 6th or something like that. And I just remember that people at school had that album, and it was being played, it was being talked about, and I fell in love with it, and I've been a John Denver fan ever since. Now, I have no qualms about saying and proudly getting shirts like this and saying I'm a John Denver fan. I am a John Denver fan. I love the man, and I love his music, and I miss him every day. We tragically lost him in October of 1997 at the too young age of 53 years old. Folks, I love rock and roll. I love power pop, Elvis, the Beatles. I like me some hair metal. I like me some reggae sometimes. I like some jazz sometimes. I like Ray Conniff sometimes, Al Hirt. Bert Kaempfert. I can go on and on. The music from my youth that my parents love, music that I love. I love the Monkees. I love new music. I love all kinds of music. Heavy rock, light rock, some yacht rock. I love John Denver as well. And there's no reason, if you're a fan of music out there and you love music that can fill you with joy and goodness, it doesn't matter who it is or what kind of music it is. The reason I'm saying all this to you as a preface, folks, is because, a lot of people have this stigma towards John Denver. John Denver, the old country boy, goody two-shoes. His music's lightweight. I can't like him. Why can't I like John? Folks, you're doing yourself a big disservice if that's your attitude. Because John Denver, yes, he did do some light and cutesy things during his career, and with the Muppets and songs like Grandma's Feather Bed and stuff like that. Yeah, there was the lighthearted, fun side of John. He did a lot of TV specials. He hosted the Grammys several times coming into the 80s. So there was that side of John, the entertainer, the lighthearted, fun guy, comedian, lightweight, whatever you want to call it, But beneath all that and beyond all that, folks, John Denver was a serious musician and songwriter and created some of the greatest music ever. I mean, he was up there for a while in the 1970s with the likes of Paul McCartney and Wings, Elvis, Elton John, Kiss, all the big names of the 70s. When you picture music of the 70s, Led Zeppelin, all the biggies, the big names, and I know I'm missing a lot. John Denver, you got to put him up there in that category. He was in that top echelon from about 1972 or so until the end of the 70s, 78, 79 or so. He was on top of the world as a pop artist, a country pop artist, but I would say mainly a pop artist. And he created some great stuff, folks, and I love him and his music. So I was very, very excited when it was announced that this was being re-released. The reason I say this is because it originally came out in 2011. The exact same box, as far as I can see, someone correct me if I'm wrong, the exact set, the exact albums included, the exact design and graphics and everything is in this brand new 2024 box that was in the original 2011 box. Now, the original 2011 box came out in general everywhere by Sony Music, RCA, and Legacy. Well, this time, it is still associated with Sony, RCA, and Legacy, but it's also associated with a company called Music on CD, which I believe is based out of overseas in Holland. This new release is an import from Holland. So it's the exact same set that originally came out all those years ago in 2011, but now it's been reproduced in Holland as an import. Now, does that make it any worse or better? Well, I really don't know for sure because I don't have the original 2011 release. I can only go by what I've listened to and what I see and observe with the brand new set. Now, I can tell you to get that 2011 set would cost an arm and a leg and one of your teeth because it goes for, or at least I saw it like in the past couple of years when it was long out of print, $300, $400, $350, $349, $299 or something on like eBay and places like that. Discogs, really hard to get. The original, very, very expensive, and I just could not swing it. So, people, I guess, were paying up to that amount to get it. But I'm so happy that finally this company out of Holland, Music on CD, has re-released it, I should say. Same exact set. And folks, you can get this thing anywhere between $80 and about $115, depending on where you shop. So if you go to like Import CDs, that one Import CDs, I believe the name of the company is, and then there's another one called, not Discogs, begins with a D. Oh, Deep Discount. Deep Discount and Import CDs, two different companies. I've seen it as low as $82, and I got mine in the 80s at one of those companies. Now, you can pay up to $115 if you go on like Amazon or one of those, but still, $115 all the way down to $80, $85 is not bad compared to $300 to $400 for the original set. And think what you're getting on this. You are getting all his gold and platinum albums. I'm going to show it to you in a minute too, folks. Don't worry, I'm going to go fast. All his gold and platinum albums are in here from RCA, but you're getting more obscure classics. You're getting all the albums that weren't gold and platinum, but they're just as good. They're great albums. Some of his earlier stuff, some of his later stuff that wasn't at that bell curve peak in the mid-70s for him, but you're getting the stuff that was on the other end of the curve when his career was just coming up and kind of going on the commercially on the downside, not creatively, commercially. It's still great material. It's great, fabulous music, and they're wonderful albums. So you're getting that, and the bonus on here is you're getting a very rare. Some of these albums are first time on CD. You can't get them on CD anywhere other than in here. And one of them is a rarity. It's a 1966 self-recorded album that he did, and it was meant just for family and friends. It's a great, great addition to this set, folks. It's called John Denver Sings. I'll show you that in a minute. But it's 3 years before his first RCA album came out in '69. He recorded an album for his family and friends and called it John Denver Sings. And it's on here, folks. Very, very hard to get, hard to find, rarer than rare. It's in here. That's a bonus. They've replicated all the albums in mini sleeves. And so you're getting it the way it originally came out on vinyl all those years ago. So 8 of John's albums, and again, there's 24 albums in here. His 23 RCA ones and the one home one he made for family and friends. So you're getting 24 total albums. 8 of them have gatefolds. One of them is a double CD live album. And then you're getting his 3 greatest hits from during his career. That's pretty darn good. Another bonus, another cool thing about this, because I counted them all up, I said, wow, especially in the early part of his career, John recorded a lot of Lennon and McCartney songs. So you Beatle fans out there, you are getting in this set 10 tracks that are Beatles-related songs. 9 of them are by the Beatles, Lennon, McCartney, and 1 Paul McCartney song is on here. That's fantastic. I mean, that's almost like a whole Beatles tribute album from John Denver on this album, and they're all great covers. So, folks, I'm going to go through it right now with you. I figured I'll do it this way. I'll put each one out for you to see, or maybe I'll just hold them up. How's that? So it comes in a clamshell. Here's the side. There's the front, like a little cube. All right, and it's clamshell, so it opens like a clamshell. Okay, it opens like this. And when you first look inside, this is what you see. All the stack of CDs and a booklet on top, okay? So let me take everything out for you right now. There's the clamshell box. Nothing fell. Okay, we're good to go. And the first thing you notice is this book right here. Just a paperback book, same size as about a CD cover, same as the cover of the box. And I'm not sure how many pages. You get an essay about John and his lifelong career, about 3 pages long. Then it goes into each album with a black and white picture of each album, the track listing, the songwriters, who played on each album, when it came out, what were the chart hits. So you're getting a ton of information and sporadic random pictures of John here and there. So that's a very nice touch because you're getting a lot of information you can read about, learn about each album, when it came out, what was going on. And it's kind of weird, but only like 4 or 5 of them out of the 24 have bonus tracks on it. For some reason, some of them, it's very sporadic, have 1 or 2, in one case on the live album, the double live John Denver Live that came out in 1970, I want to say 75, that live album came out, his first live album. You get the entire live album, which was on double vinyl, but you're also getting some bonus tracks because it's on a double CD in here. You get like 8 bonus live cuts, which is a nice touch. So that's nice. But as I say, you're getting the whole gamut here, folks. Everything on his RCA output. I'm just showing you real quick, but you learn a lot about each album and what went into it and who played on it. And for you Elvis fans, did you know John Lennon, for a better part of his middle of his career to the end, he had like half of Elvis Presley's final stage band and recording band on his albums. You had guys like James Burton and Glenn D. Harden and who else was on? You had guys like that on here and a couple of the other guys from that final Elvis Presley band. You also get the great Hal Blaine was with John for so long as his drummer, his stage drummer, his studio drummer, Hal Blaine. Anybody? The Wrecking Crew? Everything Hal Blaine played on, for goodness sake. So you're getting a cool little booklet like that. And let me quick go through all the albums. And did I show you the back? If I didn't, I apologize. It showcases 8 of them and then lists the rest of the albums you're getting in the set down there. So that's nice. Okay, so I'm just going to do it quick. I'm going to show you just one disc. They're all on the same kind of plainish yellow-orange RCA disc. That's the only disc I'm going to show from his first album. Very plain. Okay, so you're getting the first album called Rhymes and Reasons from 1969. Just going to go quick, folks. You're getting Take Me to Tomorrow. Oh, sorry, my eyesight with this. Take Me to Tomorrow, his second album from 1970. All right. Whose Garden Was This? From 1970. I'm going in the chronological order of his albums. The first one that started to give him some commercial push and success, which is Poems, Prayers, and Promises from 1971. This was the one that started the ball rolling for him. Also 1971, Airy. The one that made the next step up to commercial success after Poems, Prayers, and Promises, 1972's Rocky Mountain High. This was the one. He started up that rise to fame and superstardom, and this was the one that gave that next push. Rocky Mountain High, a beautiful album, folks, if you've never heard it. And this was the first one that it's a gatefold, and you get the gatefold. Now you have to remember you need some really high-powered glasses or a magnifying glass to read those lyrics. But they're there. It's the gatefold, as the vinyl had. What are you going to do? The next one was also a gatefold. Farewell Andromeda from 1973. Okay. Then he had a Greatest Hits album came out. John Denver's Greatest Hits came out in early 74, I believe. And it was multi-platinum. You're getting that. And don't forget with these Greatest Hits, you say, oh, they're repeat songs. Yes, they're his greatest hits, repeat songs. But correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure on John's greatest hits packages, he remixed or re-recorded many, if not all, the songs. So there's different versions than what you would have gotten on the albums previous, okay? You're getting some cool stuff. 1974, the other one that made after the greatest hits rise to the top, Back Home Again. 1974, one of his most famous albums. So many hits on it. And again, the gatefold. And then later in 74, An Evening with John Denver. The double CD here, live album, which was a double vinyl album at the time in 1974. And they've added bonus tracks to these double CDs, so you're getting more material. Okay? Then the big one, the pinnacle. 1975's Wind Song. #1 album, smash, multi-platinum, numerous top 40 hits on this album, and also a gatefold. Then that winter, Rocky Mountain Christmas, John Denver, 1975, the end of the year. Another smash. This is like a staple at Christmas time for everybody the world over. Everyone loves Rocky Mountain Christmas. Gatefold also. 1976, he came out with an album called Spirit, which is one of my favorites. It wasn't as commercially successful as like Wind Song, Back Home Again, Rocky Mountain High, but it's still a great album. It did pretty good, had a couple of hits on it, and it's one of Matt Street's favorites. Then in early 1977, he came out with his second greatest hits, Volume 2. Lots of hits on this one, folks. Big. And again, some re-recorded, some remixed, so it's a different sounding album overall. 1977, I Want to Live. Great album. Again, not as commercially successful as some of those from the mid 70s, but still a wonderful album. Then in early 1979, he came out with the self-titled John Denver album. Again, not as commercially successful, but no less quality music. And I've grown to love this album, and I just think it's fantastic. 1980, Autograph. One of my favorites, albeit for one song on it that I really don't care for. Other than that, this is a classic John Denver album. And folks, just so you know, I'm planning on doing a series about this box set. That's why I'm not getting into a lot of detail of each album. I am going to randomly pick albums from this set and do full reviews of each one as a series in the future. Coming up, there'll be one coming very soon, and every so often I'll pick another one and I'm going to review it to you. I'm going to do more John Denver content on my channel. 1981, Some Days Are Diamonds. This is his country album. Very countrified, and I love it. It's fabulous album. One of my favorite John Denver albums, 1982, Seasons of the Heart. All right. And also, it was a gatefold album. And there you go. 1983, he came out with It's About Time. More of a seascape kind of vibe to it with a gatefold. After this came out in late 1983, coming into 1984, he released John Denver's Greatest Hits Volume 3. Great release. Then in 1985, he came out with Dreamland Express, an album that has grown on me over the years immensely, and I love it to death. A great John Denver album. And then his final album for RCA in 1986, a shame, called One World. He did release 3 more studio albums, and then he released a kind of a train locomotive themed album for younger people called All Aboard. So technically 4 albums after this one that he released independently on his label called Windstar. But One World was the final big major label release on RCA. And it's another great album. And then here's the bonus I was telling you about. John Denver Sings from 1966. A lot of Beatles songs on this one, like 3 or 4. Very plain in the wrapping, the packaging, and it's the only other CD that has a different label. So I wanted to show you that. So there you have it, folks. I'm going to get out of here because this video is going a little bit long, 20 minutes or whatever. But I wanted to showcase this set for you, folks, because it's a wonderful new release. Just came out within the last couple of weeks. You can get it very cheap. Think of the price you're paying for each CD. If you can get this for 80-something bucks or so, and at the most you're going to pay is like 110, 115 for it. You're getting a good value for your buck here with the amount of CDs you're getting and the live one being a double CD. 24 albums here, folks. John Denver. Wow, the RCA albums collection. I love it. I'm so happy to have it. I've already started listening to it. And as I said, I will be doing a video review series coming up very, very soon. I'm not sure which album I'm going to pick first, but I'm going to jump around. I'm not going to do it in chronological order. I want to give you a flavor of his entire career with RCA, so I'm going to jump all over the place. But it'll be a lot of fun. I hope you'll come back and return and join me. I'm sorry this video went so long, but I really wanted to show you this beautiful set. John Denver, the RCA albums collection. Think about getting it, folks. You will not, I repeat, you will not be sorry. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.